Leesburg, Center for Spiritual Living. And I will share my screen now. I'll take off my mask. Although I don't know how to do that. So we're just going to be like this. Hi, guys. You see my ears? You see my... I'm Charlene Banks, the Spiritual Community Director. And today we are so blessed to have our guest speaker, our wonderful practitioner, Tamara. She's going to be speaking. And so we're going to be switching roles a bit. So, welcome to CSL Leesburg. And where our theme for the year is Timeless Wisdom, Evolutionary Vision. This month, our focus is going further together. And today's topic, I'll meet you there, given by our practitioner, Tamara. So we're so glad that you joined us today for this wonderful, blessed day. And we invite you to get comfortable and relax into this moment as we begin our service.
Please join us as we create our sacred space. We set our intentions of deepening into our awareness and practice of our 5 pillars of spiritual living by lighting this candle in our virtual world. Our first pillar is sacred study, represented by the divine quality of truth. We use this pillar to recognize the importance of an open mind and the power of our minds. The second pillar is affirmative prayer, represented by the divine quality power. This pillar honors the power of prayer in our daily lives. Our third pillar is meditation and the divine quality of peace. This pillar reminds us of the importance of meditation and the peace we feel when we quiet our minds. The fourth pillar is circulation and the divine quality of life. We know that the great law of circulation works in our lives. As we give, so shall we receive. And the fifth pillar is sacred service and the divine quality of love. This pillar affirms our call to be a service to our world as we see through the eyes of love. Let us close our eyes as we bless this sacred space and our time together. As we weave each of these pillars of spiritual living into our service today, may they deepen our own spiritual practices of study, prayer, meditation, circulation, and service, expanding our minds and our hearts to the 5 divine qualities of truth, power, peace, life, and love. We also bless everyone who made our service possible today and everyone in attendance. May the energy of love that is generated here bless everyone abundantly. And so it is.
Yes, and so it is. Please feel free to add to the chat, whether you're in the Zoom room or Facebook Live, any prayer requests that you have, because at the end of our service, we will be including your special request for prayer in our community spiritual mind treatment that Tamara will give. That's our form of affirmative prayer. So just let us know if you have any special requests for prayer. And now, join us as we move into our time of meditation with Tamara.
Good morning, everyone. I'm going to start our service today with a meditation that I am borrowing from 7,000 Ways to Listen by Mark Nemo. And this is called the Yes, But meditation. So I invite you just to sit back, relax, get comfortable. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Let's just do another one of those. And exhale. It always feels so good when we just quiet our minds and kind of stop the world for a few minutes. Leave that to-do list outside the room where you're in, knowing that it'll be there. And you can pick it up later today when you're ready. But for now, we're just relaxing our body, relaxing our mind, finding the center of our being, where there is peace, there is ease. Now I invite you, as you continue to take deep breaths, to sit with your hands up, your palms up, facing the ceiling. And now close your hands and make a fist. Then try to coordinate your breath so that as you exhale, you open up your hands again. As you inhale, you close your hands. You'll find that the movement of your hands begins to match your breath. I just heard Silas sigh. He's meditating with us, as he often does. As you exhale, your palms are up, your hands are open. As you inhale, as you draw in the breath, you're drawing in your hands so that you have a closed fist. And there go my dogs. Let's just do those breaths a few times. And I'm going to try to shut the door. And hopefully that kind of quiets the sound some. Inhale, pull in your hands, make a closed fist. And exhale, open up your hands so your palms are facing up. Now I'm going to add something to that. As you exhale and you open your hands, say the word yes. Yes. As you inhale, close your hands and say the word but. Exhale, opening the hands, yes. Inhale, close your hands, say the word but. Exhale, hands are open, say the word yes, yes to the universe. Close your hands and say the word but. Now just take your mind's eye, take your thoughts, and think of something. There's something that's speaking to your soul, speaking to your spirit that is saying, yes, yes, I want to try this, I want to do this. And then there's that little nagging thought that says, but, and there's something holding you back. Try to find that thought. Yes, yes, I want to feel this. Yes, yes, I want to do this. Yes, I'm ready for this. But, and as you find that thought, breathe deeply. Have your hands open and say yes. Yes, I can do this. Yes, there is nothing holding me back. Yes, I have the commitment. I have the curiosity, the ability. I have the courage. Focus just on the yes. The yes. The yes. And know in this moment that the universe is also saying, yes. 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 Open your eyes if they were closed and come back and join me as we listen to some beautiful music by Leah.
Good morning, CSL Leesburg. I'm going to share a Karen Drucker song with you. I bet you've heard it before, and even if you haven't, as soon as it becomes familiar, please sing along. When I start my day with love, when I start my day with love, that's what I get more of is love. When I start my day with love, when I start my day with love, that's what I get more of is love. Oh, love, 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 love. When I start my day with peace, when I start my day with peace, I feel sweet relief of peace. When I start my day with peace, when I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet relief of peace. Oh, love, sweet peace. Peace, peace, peace. When I start my day with joy, when I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. When I start my day with joy, when I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. Oh, joy, sweet joy. Joy, sweet joy. Oh, peace, sweet peace. I just want peace, sweet peace. I start with love, love, love. Love, love, love. When I start my day with love, when I start my day with love, everything I get more of is love. When I start my day with love, when I start my day with love, that's what I get more of is love.
Ooh, as always, Leah, thank you so much. I love Karen Drucker. So inspirational. So, our title of our talk today is I'll Meet You There. And this month we've been exploring the topic Going Further Together. And our first week of October, we looked at how we are a divine community. Perhaps it was the first time that you heard the quote that really resonated with me. Alone, we can go fast, but together we can go far. As we go further, isn't it great to have compatible traveling companions? Think about nomadic tribes or Native American Indian villages or our pioneers crossing the plains. They always traveled together. They supported each other during their journeys. And isn't that what we do here at CSL? We support each other on our spiritual journeys. In our second week, Charlene pointed out that as we go further together, we can share the dream. We discussed a principle of quantum physics. What you bring to a group will change the composition of the group. Each of us brings something that adds to that enhances our group. Like individual pieces of twine, the rope is made stronger because we are joined together. When we unite with a common dream, we can go further together. And the third week of October, Bridget, our guest speaker, pointed out that as we go further, the we becomes greater than the me. We learned about group power, and she shared her experiences as a hiker and explained that there's a natural law for living things to work together. Think of symbiotic relationships. Flowers and bees work together for their mutual benefit. Trees and birds work together. Trees provide shelter for the birds that nest them, and the birds eat insects that could destroy the trees. Even individual trees are all connected as their roots intertwine below the ground's surface. Everything in nature is connected. It does not thrive on its own. We are all connected, and we are able to remember our oneness. And in that moment, we can go further together. And last week, Charlene showed us how to dig deeper by loading up our spiritual tool belt with commitment, curiosity, and courage. Our commitment is the answer to the question, why? Why am I here? Why do I do what I do? Our curiosity encourages us to play and to explore. No matter how old we are, we can be young at heart. We can find a way to play. We can find a way to flame our passions and delight in our daily endeavors. With our commitment and our curiosity allowed to flourish, our courage becomes stronger. We can go further boldly and with confidence, for we know that we are divinely guided. And as we wrap up the month of October with the theme going further together, I think you'll agree with me that we've certainly been going further together. We have been expanding our thoughts. We've been expanding our understanding. And as we go further together, we can rise up to a common meeting point, a place where we can meet together as evolutionary visionaries and take a good look around and see how far we have come. So what is this common meeting point? What is our common ground? Well, the title of our talk today is, I'll meet you there. Where do we meet? Is the answer online? No, the answer is in line. Let's look at our common beliefs, our guiding principles, the principles of CSL. If you subscribe to the Science of Mind magazine, you'll always find this in the beginning of the magazine. They outline all of our principles. And I focused on 3 in particular today that fit in beautifully with our message. So where do we meet? Where do our Venn diagrams intersect? This is what we believe. We are spiritual beings having a spiritual experience and human form. We believe in the individualization of the spirit in us, and that all people are individualizations of one spirit. This reminds us to remember that we are completely, totally, and always supported by and as spirit. As we like to say, there is no spot where God is not. My favorite Bible verse is Joshua 1:9. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened and do not be dismayed. For the Lord, your God, is with you wherever you go. God is with you wherever you go. Think about the power of that statement. You are never alone. God is always with you. I memorized that verse years ago, back when I was in high school. many, many years ago. And whenever I feel discouraged, to this day, even whenever I feel discouraged or weak, or I need just a little boost in confidence, I remember that verse. And in particular, I stop with just that first line: have I not commanded you? Now, I never picture God on some lofty mountain pointing his mighty finger down at me and commanding me. I ask myself, am I doing something right now in this present moment when I'm a little nervous, when I'm not very confident? Am I doing something that is not in alignment with who I am? Am I doing something that is in alignment? And am I doing something that I should be doing? If the answer is yes, this is the right action. Yes, this is the right path. Yes, this is the right decision. I am acting as God's hand, as God's voice. Then I just spend some time right there with that first line of the verse. Am I trying to do something that is in alignment with who I am? When I strongly and confidently come to the answer yes, without any reservation, then I continue to the next line of the verse. Be strong, be courageous. Do not be frightened or dismayed, for God is with you wherever you go. Wherever I go, whatever I do, God is with me. This is the divine truth for me, and it is the divine truth for you too. God is with you wherever you go. Be strong, be courageous. We are spiritual beings, divinely created, divinely supported, divinely blessed, divinely loved. We are individual expressions of God. We are always completely, totally supported by and as the one divine spirit. I'll meet you there when you join me and say, I am God. You are God. It's all God. Our second common ground is our knowledge that the reality of spirit is greater than and can resolve any appearance of separation, hurt, anger, or fears. We will always face these appearances, whether individually or globally. Yes, they have their reality, but there's a capital R reality and a truth with a capital T that is greater than any false appearances. In The Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes gives us this wonderful quote: we cannot be in peace until we know that the spirit is the only cause, medium, and effect in our lives. There is no past, present, and future to it. Evil has no history and has never entered into the being or the experience of reality. And look at reality with that capital R. What is the divine truth? On Wednesday night, I was chatting with Natalie and Kristen shared a story to demonstrate this point, and I asked her if I could share it on Sunday. When she was diagnosed with COVID, the doctor took a step back, away from her, as he gave her the news. She realized that all of her other doctors would be afraid to see or treat her. She felt fear and the realization that other people would fear her. Luckily, Kristen is well versed in our beliefs. She told herself in that moment of realization, stop. The universe is always working for your highest good. She used her knowledge and her spiritual practices to guide her, support her, and eliminate her fear. This is our common ground. We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all. However, we do not ignore suffering, pain, or difficult times. This is called spiritual bypassing. The la, 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 I'm not listening. Here's what Ernest Holmes tells us about that. We must transcend the appearance, even though we admit it is a fact. We're not so cold-blooded as to say to a person with pain that there's no such thing as pain. We admit the fact. It is quite different, however, to admit its necessity. Disease, accordingly, is a fact, but it is not a truth. It is not in alignment with what we know about God, the divine truth. Jesus achieved resurrection not by skirting around the suffering, but by going through it. In the 23rd Psalm, it states that we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, not around it. And I love this point that it just recently was pointed out to me. It's the valley of the shadow of death, the illusion of death, not the valley of death, the illusion, the shadow of death. Only by facing appearances head on and allowing the infinite within us to guide us through, we will truly resurrect and ascend into greater knowing. Then we can establish a new normal, free of past ideas, free of limiting old stories. A sultan once asked King Solomon, is there a sentence that would always be true in good times and in bad times? His response, this too shall pass. All things of this world are temporary. They're but mere moments. They're just appearances. When you're facing the appearance of separation or hurt, anger or fear, remember it won't always be this way. There will be a new page. There will be a new chapter in your life story. Express gratitude for your knowledge that you are not tackling this alone. There is a divine presence with you. God is with you. Go within and you'll find the strength that you need. Take one day at a time and remember, this too shall pass. When things are good, remember, enjoy the moment. Don't rush through it. Don't miss it by taking photos to post on social media. This moment will come and go. This too shall pass. Enjoy the moment and again, express gratitude. Divine guidance led you to this moment. God is with you and God is celebrating with you. Alan Watts shares this quote with us. It is the enlightened individual, to the enlightened individual. It appears as a vivid and overwhelming certainty that the universe, precisely as it is at this moment, as a whole, and every one of its parts, is so completely right as to need no explanation or justification beyond simply what simply is. Wow, he packed a lot in one incredible sentence. Sorry, the English teacher just notices that's all one sentence. To the enlightened individual, it appears as a vivid and overwhelming certainty that the universe, precisely as it is at this moment, as a whole in every one of its parts, is so completely right as to need no explanation or justification simply beyond what is. Oh, that's a good one. The reality of spirit, the truth of the divine, is greater than and can resolve any appearance of separation, hurt, anger, or fear. Fear is false evidence appearing real, and we stand together in our common understanding of the divine truth. Again, I'm going to reference this book by Mark Nepo, and I learned in it that the Buddhists say that there are 8 worldly winds, external things which we cannot control, which can determine our mood or state of mind. These 8 worldly winds are pleasure, pain, gain, loss, praise, blame, fame, and disrepute. They're like winds. They come and go. And remember when you're bogged down, this too shall pass. Remember when you're having a great day, when you're enjoying the fall leaves, when you're having fun. Remember, this too shall pass. I will meet you there in this moment. I will meet you when you join me and say, God is great. God is good. Be strong. Be courageous. Do not be afraid, for God is with you wherever you go. And our third common belief is our understanding in the eternal, the immortal, the continuation of the individual soul forever and always. We believe that heaven is here within us, and that we experience heaven to the degree of which we become conscious of it. Let's return to the moment that I shared about Kristen earlier. She felt fear, but she reminded herself that the universe is always working for her highest good. She also did something else that really surprised me. She played the what's the worst case scenario game. She said to herself, okay, I have COVID. What's the worst thing that could happen? That's a pretty brave question because we all know the answer. Death. Oh my gosh. And as a mother, my heart just went out to her because I thought of her daughters. However, she remembered this, that death is just an illusion. If her physical body could no longer sustain her spirit, she knew that that was not the end. What an incredibly brave thing for a mother to accept. She knew that her spirit would still have a place in the lives of her children. That, my friends, is faith in capital neon letters. That's a story of someone with complete understanding and knowledge in the divine truth. So speaking of spirit, let's talk for just a moment about spirits, because today is Halloween, All's Hallows Eve. The earliest origins of Halloween is a Celtic holiday, which was the Celtic New Year. Like Hispanics who celebrate Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead, the Celtics believed that the souls of their deceased loved ones would be available on this night. Druids were members of the highest ranking class in ancient Celtic cultures. Druids were religious leaders. According to the History Channel, The History of Halloween, the Druids celebrated this holiday with a great fire festival to encourage the dimming sun not to vanish. People danced around bonfires to keep the evil spirits away. But they left their doors open, not for trick-or-treaters, but in hopes that kind spirits of loved ones might join them around their hearths. The Celts wore costumes, typically animal heads and skins, in an attempt to discourage evil spirits from possessing their bodies for the new year. This custom evolved and can explain why you might see some pirates or witches or fairies, dinosaurs, ghosts, Ghostbusters, Buzz Lightyear, perhaps a guard from the Squid Games at your doors tonight. When you see them, though, you will not be afraid of these scary creatures because you will know that they are just illusions. They're not real. You'll know that in spite of appearances, they are fake. You are safe. This week, Hindus and people of various faiths will celebrate the 5-day festival by decorating their homes with oil lamps and strings of twinkling lights. Diwali is known as the Festival of Lights. It is a celebration of the victory of light over darkness. When you are experiencing dark days or dark moments, dark thoughts, remember, light always defeats darkness. One small candle can light up a room. There is a light within you. It is God's divine light. I'll meet you there when you join me and say, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. The light within me will shine brightly forever and ever and ever, for I am a never-ending, eternal expression of God. If we leave our common meeting point where we share these beliefs, if we turn away from the universal truth and return to wander in the forest of right and wrong, we will never experience the true freedom of love, pure, divine, universal love. Rumi, the great Persian poet, had this to say: out beyond the ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. When the soul lies down in the grass, the world is too full to talk about. Ideas, language, even the phrase each other doesn't make sense. He knew that we are all connected. We are all one. And so we let go of old stories, old beliefs, old hurts, anger, fear. We let go of those winds that can blow into our mind that don't need to stay. And when we do this and we don't wrestle with them, when we look up, when we look within to the one source, we will find freedom. As evolutionary visionaries, we remember the common beliefs that join us. We are spiritual beings having a spiritual experience in human form. God is greater than our fears. Separation, hurt, anger, disease, these are all just illusions. They are dis-ease, a place where we put ourselves by our thoughts, or we can remember, reconnect, join, become a member, reconnect with the reality, the real, the divine truth, that the universe is always working for our best and highest good. We also have this common belief: the scary monsters are not real. Even death is an illusion. Our spirits are eternal and heaven is within us. We simply experience it to the degree that we have become conscious of it. So I encourage you to spend time each day in meditation. Take an area of concern, whether it is personal or global, and just embrace it. Maybe do that yes, but meditation that I included at the start of our service. Examine that word but. What is holding you back? Inviting Spirit to shed light on that circumstance or situation. And then listen. Open your heart to the divine wisdom, to the yes that might seem to come from the beyond. It is always living within us. And here is an affirmation that might guide you. I step out beyond my old limiting beliefs into a fresh new field of freedom. And when you do this, God will meet you there. Now let's go into our time of prayer. There is one divine source, one universal life. It is divine energy. It allows the clouds to form, the rain to fall, the sun to shine. It is in every colorful leaf, every plant, every pumpkin, every living organism. It is life. There is nothing that can stand against it, and there is nothing that is separate from it. It creates naturally, effortlessly, lovingly, to bring divine goodness into each and every moment. It ensures that all things are working toward the best and the highest good for all. And since this universal life is in all, this universal life I know is also within me. I affirm my oneness with the divine. Its love, its grace, its ease covers me and flows from me. Because it is love, I am love. Because it's peace, I am filled with peace. Because it is abundance, I am abundant. I know this for myself. I know this for everyone who is within my listening voice. I know it is for everyone who might have the illusion of fear or pain or grief or imperfect health. I know this is the truth for Natalie's mother. There is nothing but health and wholeness. Every cell in her being knows what it has to do to restore her health. Every muscle, every bone, every organ. For God is there. We know that there's empty space in the atoms. What fills that up? God. So God is in her body. And I am as certain as this, as I am as certain that God is within all of us. There's only health and wholeness that floods her being. There is only a movement that is moving her to the highest and best restored health. I speak my word with a sense of ease, with a sense of confidence, with a sense of peace for every moment and every situation. I am strong. I am courageous. And I fear and I free my mind because I know that I am blessed, that I am safe, that I am divinely guided. I know that I am moving through life, through God. I do not resist or insist. I let go and I let God. I step out beyond my old limiting beliefs into a fresh new field of freedom. And I rest assured that everyone and everything in my life is in the place that they must be. The peace that is within me is activated. The wholeness that is in with me is activated. Divine peace heals any wounds from the past. There is such freedom in this knowledge and this understanding. And I am so very grateful to have this knowledge, to have this wisdom, to have this certainty of the blessings that are for all of us. I am grateful in this moment that I understand that I never stand in the field alone. I am so grateful for each and every moment. And so I release this word into the law, knowing that as I speak, it is already done. I let go, I let God, and so it is. And now some more music from Leah.
No one gets to heaven alone, to heaven alone, to heaven alone. No one gets to heaven alone. We get there side by side, side by side, side by side, side by side. We get there side by side. No one gets to heaven alone, to heaven alone, to heaven alone. No one gets to heaven alone. We get there side by side, side by side, side by side, side by side. We get there side by side. No one gets to heaven alone, to heaven on their own. No one gets to heaven alone. We get there side by side, side by side, side by side, side by side. We get there side by side. No one to heaven, no one to heaven, no one to heaven, no one gets to heaven, no one. We get there side by side, side by side, side We get there side by side.
Okay, wow. Wow. I just have to take a moment and say, Tamara, that gift of your talk was so amazing. And wow, that Leah is so talented. The harmonies and the blending and the technology and never broke a pace. Whew, I just had to do that before I show you this next slide. So just had to give you guys your props. Wow. It's amazing to be part of this community. And now we'll talk about our gifts because CSL Leesburg, as you know, is a wonderful, wonderful place where we come together and we share not only our gifts of our spirit, who we came here to be, we also share our gifts of our abundant blessings, whether it's our time, our talent, or our treasure. And when it comes to treasure, we know that there are so many ways to support our organization through many techniques, as you can see on the slide here. We allow text donations, Cash App. We don't have Venmo yet, but hey, if somebody needs it, we'll create a Venmo app. You can mail a check. You can also send a PayPal donation. Whatever way you do it, just know that your donations help support the ongoing efforts that we have here at CSL. And also we tithe back to our community, and now we're international. Yes, we tithe back to we're international because we have Canada too as part of our membership. Hey Natalie, shout out. So just know that what you give is not only enlarging our vision for our immediate community, but the world as well. So take your gift in your hand, or whether it's electronic, mine's electronic, it just goes every week. Just take that symbol of your gift, hold it over your heart, and say with me our affirmation and our blessing. The presence of spirit within me blesses everyone I meet, tends to heal everything I touch, brings gladness into the lives of everyone I contact. Therefore, I am a blessing to myself, to humankind, and to the day in which I live. And so it is. So we have a few announcements, just a few. First thing is today's the last day. Today's the day of the deadline. See what I did there? It's the day of the deadline for the 2022 Conscious Giving Program, where you decide, because you've gone into your heart and you've discerned how much of a donation you would like to give every month. I always say, and stretch it a bit more, but it's up to you. It's a personal choice. You come up with that number and then you write it down. You either get online and fill out that form, or if you're feeling, really like I am, I don't want to have to do it every week. I set up a recurring gift online, same place. You just go to cslleesburg.org, click give, and sign up for your 2022 Conscious Giving Program. Now, why did I say it was the day of the deadline? Because by October 31st, if you sign up for your next year, your idea of how much contribution you'll support us with, we'll send you a spiritual journal where you can keep notes. Like Tamara had so many things and I took so many notes. I'm going to have to ask her a couple questions so I can fill out my notebook. But this is the notebook for this year. We'll send you one for next year. But you have to do it by today in order to get on that list, because I'm making that order tonight. Got to have that delivery before Christmas. Anywho, what else are we doing with the donations that you give? Well, we offer plenty of things during the week. So feel free to come on by, drop by online on Zoom every Tuesday morning. I'll be there. Me, yours truly, Charlene, at Tuesdays at 9 a.m. We're going to study our dreams. So what did you dream about? And what does that mean? And how is your soul speaking to you that you can grow and evolve and become more of who you really are? Your dreams have hidden treasures in them, and we'll help you figure out what those are. Wednesdays, Tamara did make a mention of Wednesday night. We hold at 7 p.m. our Diving Deeper 1 hour of discussion about how this week's topic, what Tamara just talked about, we're going to kind of chew on it, and by Wednesday night we'll have a lot of extra nuggets. So you know how at the end of every talk every Sunday we have pearls. Well, Wednesday is diving deeper for more pearls. Kind of go with that kind of analogy. Anywho, bring your notes, discuss it with us. We'd love to hear the kinds of things that are showing up in your life as a result of today's inspirational message. And again, this is more details about that. Why we would do it is, of course, to enrich our sense of oneness, to deepen our sense of community, and then kind of discuss. All right. Our beautiful Tamara is also still on deck to be teaching the class starting in January, the 5 Saturdays of January. We're going to be changing our thinking and changing our lives. And so we're going to be probably advertising this a bit more so people can make sure they sign up. And that's all I have for you today. So I just want you to just know that you are loved. And how do we do that? We do our closing affirmation. So repeat after me. Close your eyes, put your hands over your heart, and just say, I am love. Feel free to open your mic if you want. I am love. And now, look around you. Do you see a human? Do you see a pet? Do you see your reflection on Zoom? Point at it and say, you are love.
Yeah. You are love.
You are love, Smokey. Smokey's over here sleeping. All right. Now, here's the big one. Put your hands up and sprinkle some air and say it's all love.
It's all love.
Oh my God, you guys sound beautiful. Hang around for pearls. We're going to do our immediate pearls right now. Let Tamara know how much she affected you. I know she just dropped a lot of knowledge on me. So if you're watching on Facebook, log into the Zoom link on CSL. If you're watching on our website, hang up and log in to Zoom. We're doing this now. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next week. Blessings.